The sun was already sinking to the horizon, flooding the streets of New York with warm, golden light. Keanu Reeves was walking around the city, incognito, enjoying the rhythm of life. He liked to dissolve into the crowd, to be part of the bustling metropolis without prying eyes recognizing him as a celebrity. But that evening something made him stop. At an intersection, he saw a young man sitting on the sidewalk. He had several drawings laid out on the asphalt in front of him. Next to him was a small sign, "Portraits for Donation. Help us survive." The artist, bending over the paper in concentration, was drawing a portrait of an elderly woman who was sitting patiently in front of him. His hands moved quickly and confidently, creating precise lines. Keanu watched him for a few minutes. He noticed that the boy looked exhausted, his clothes were worn out, but his eyes shone with dedication to his work. The drawings in front of him were impressive, skillfully executed portraits and scenes full of detail. But the crowd paid little attention to his work. When an elderly woman left, thanking the artist and leaving a few dollars, Keanu decided to approach. He wanted to know more about this man and his story. The man looked up when he saw Keanu and was a little surprised, but quickly went back to his work. Keanu sat down next to him and began to look at the drawings. He was impressed by the technique and attention to detail. Something in the scene touched his heart. He decided that this meeting should not remain a chance encounter. Keanu Reeves sat down next to the young artist, and their conversation began with a simple one. "Hi, great work. What's your name?" The man raised his head and looked at Keanu in confusion. His name was Alex, and he did not immediately recognize his interlocutor. For him, he was just another passerby who had noticed his drawings. Alex briefly thanked him for the compliment and went back to his work, but Keanu decided to continue the conversation. "How long have you been drawing?" he asked. Alex held the pencil on the paper, thinking for a moment. "Since childhood. I drew everything I saw. First it was school notebooks, then the walls at home. My mom always scolded me, but she smiled at the same time. She believed in me." His voice was warm, but tinged with sadness. Keanu felt that there was a complicated story behind these words. He noticed Alex tense up a little, as if afraid to say more. "I can see that you are very talented. But why are you here on the street?" he asked gently. Alex looked at his drawings and sighed. "Life happened this way. My mom died a few years ago. Then I started having financial problems. I left college to work, but there was little work. Painting has always been my passion, but it's not something that brings a steady income. When I couldn't pay the rent anymore, all I had left was this place and my pencils." Keanu listened attentively, not interrupting. Alex spoke from the heart, though he tried to keep his voice low-key. He was not someone who complained easily. For him, it was a reality that he accepted but did not stop fighting. "And what do you draw most?" asked Keanu, trying to turn the conversation to something lighter. Alex smiled. "I like to draw people. Their emotions, stories, moments in their lives. Each face is a separate picture, a separate world. Sometimes I imagine what their stories would be like if they wanted to tell them." These words deeply impressed Keanu. He realized that he was not just an artist, but a person with a unique view of the world. "Your talent deserves more," Keanu said. "I want to help you. Maybe you'll let me buy a few of your works?" Alex looked surprised. He was not used to someone showing such interest in his drawings. "Sure, if you like some of these," he replied, gesturing to the drawings on the table. Keanu picked out a few paintings, but didn't stop there. He decided to ask Alex about his plans. Would he like to exhibit his work in a gallery? Did he dream of having more people see his work? Alex sighed. "It's good to dream, but when you live on the street, it seems so far away. I just want to paint and be myself. If I can earn a living, that will be happiness." These words convinced Keanu even more that Alex needed support. He decided not only to buy his paintings, but also to organize something more. "I know a place where you can exhibit your work," Keanu said. "Give me some time, and we'll try to do it together." Alex looked at him for a long time, trying to figure out if he was joking. But he saw sincerity and determination in Keanu's eyes. It was the first time in a long time that someone had offered him not only help, but also faith in his dream. Over the next few days, Keanu Reeves worked to organize an opportunity for Alex to exhibit his work. He contacted his friends who worked in the arts and arranged a meeting with the owner of a small gallery in the city center. The gallery was known for supporting young and unknown artists. Keanu returned to the intersection where he met Alex and told him the news. Alex was stunned. He couldn't believe that someone had done so much for him after just one meeting. "You really want to do this for me?" he asked, looking at Keanu in disbelief. "It's not just for you. It's for the world to see your work," Keanu replied. Together they began to prepare for the exhibition. Keanu helped Alex find a place where he could work without interference. One of Keanu's friends provided a small room in his art center where Alex could store his work and create new ones. It was the first stable place he had in a long time. Alex worked day and night creating new paintings. His style became bolder and more confident. Each painting reflected a part of his life: losses, hopes, struggles. His works were so deep and emotional that even he did not expect such an impact. Keanu, meanwhile, continued to organize the details of the exhibition. He used his influence to invite not only potential buyers, but also art critics to the event. His goal was simple: to show the world Alex's talent and give him a chance to get the recognition he deserved. As the day of the exhibition approached, Alex began to worry. He was afraid that his work would not resonate with the audience. "What if no one comes? What if they don't like my work?" he asked Keanu. "Don't worry about that," Keanu replied. "You've already done something incredible by overcoming so many obstacles. This exhibition is not the end, it's just the beginning." On the day of the exhibition, the gallery was filled with people. Visitors were looking at Alex's paintings, stopping in front of each of them and discussing the emotions they evoked. Some even started to buy his works. Alex stood in the corner, not believing his eyes. He saw his work and his story resonating in people's hearts. When the exhibition was over, Alex estimated that he had sold most of his work. He also received several offers of cooperation from galleries and collectors. But the biggest gift for him was the feeling that his life had changed. Keanu stayed by his side to support Alex in this new chapter of his life. He knew that the changes were just beginning and was ready to help so that this talent would not go unnoticed. Alex's exhibition was a real breakthrough. His paintings resonated with not only visitors, but also art critics who began writing about him in local publications. The story of a young artist who painted on the street, but, thanks to his perseverance and the support of Keanu Reeves, managed to achieve recognition became a sensation. Over the next few days, Alex received invitations to participate in various exhibitions, and several wealthy collectors expressed a desire to purchase his work. It was a real shock for him. The feeling that his talent was finally being recognized was both incredible and a little scary. Keanu stayed by his side, helping Alex navigate his new reality. He not only supported him morally, but also helped him negotiate contracts to make sure Alex didn't fall victim to unfair deals. "You have to take this chance," Keanu told him one day when they were discussing new offers. "But don't forget what made your work so unique, your heart and your story." Among all the offers Alex received, one of the most meaningful was an invitation to become a resident at a large art studio. It gave him not only a place to work, but also the opportunity to collaborate with other artists, learn from them, and improve his skills. Alex accepted, and his life changed even more. The first few weeks in the studio were a real challenge for Alex. He was used to working outside on his own, and now he found himself surrounded by other artists, each with their own unique talents. But instead of feeling insecure, Alex decided to use this experience as an opportunity to learn new things. One of the paintings he created in the studio received special attention. It was dedicated to his life on the street, a mixture of real images and emotions he experienced. The painting was exhibited at a large city gallery and won the grand prize at a competition for young artists. This event finally cemented his status as a promising artist. At this time, Alex started receiving more commissions. People wanted him to create portraits for them, and some even offered him to work on large projects, such as interior design and wall murals. Alex worked with great inspiration, but always remembered the support he received from Keanu. In an interview, Alex admitted, "If it wasn't for Keanu, I would probably still be painting on the street. His faith in me changed everything." This interview went viral, and even more people learned about their story. Keanu remained modest. When journalists tried to get his opinion, he simply said, "I just helped him take the first step. Everything else is his talent and his perseverance." Alex began to hold workshops for young artists who also found themselves in difficult life situations. He wanted to give back the good he had received and help others find their way. His studio became not only a place of creativity, but also a refuge for those who were looking for support and inspiration. This new chapter in Alex's life is an example of how even the smallest support can change a person's destiny. His story inspired many people, and he himself became a symbol of the power of art and human kindness. Years passed, and Alex became a famous artist not only in New York, but also far beyond its borders. His works adorned the walls of galleries. Collectors competed for the right to buy his new paintings, and art critics called him the voice of his generation. However, Alex always remembered where it all began, and it remained a source of his inspiration. Keanu Reeves remained not only his friend, but also a kind of mentor. They often met and discussed life and art. Keanu was pleased with what he was able to do for Alex, but he always emphasized that success is the merit of the artist himself. "I only opened the door, but you walked through it yourself," he said. One day, Alex decided to thank his friend in an unusual way. He organized a charity exhibition where he presented a series of works dedicated to his journey, from days on the streets to international recognition. All the money raised during the exhibition was used to create a fund to support young artists with difficult life circumstances. Keanu was the guest of honor at the event. When he saw one of the central paintings, a self-portrait of Alex, who was painting on the sidewalk the day they met, he was moved to tears. This painting symbolized not only the beginning of Alex's career, but also the moment when a simple gesture of kindness changed a life. The exhibition was a huge success, and the foundation created by Alex began to help dozens of young talents who were looking for their way in art. Alex became not only an example for them, but also a real source of support. For Keanu, this story was another confirmation of his belief in the power of humanity. He never sought fame for his actions, but saw how one kind gesture can start a chain reaction, changing not only one person, but many others. Alex always ended his story at charity events and meetings with young artists with the same words. "My journey began with one meeting. A meeting with a person who saw more in me than I saw myself. And it changed everything." This is how their shared story has become an inspiration for others, reminding us that true kindness never disappears without a trace. It creates waves that can touch many lives and leaves behind a legacy that inspires the best.